Hi, I'm Martina. Welcome to Magnetic Clarity. I'm a kinesiologist. I use tarot to explore downloads that will help us cultivate the life we want.
Hi everyone. So today I thought I would look at what your personal brand is. That might not necessarily be what you think it is, although it could also be exactly what you think it is. Um, but in a greater sense, sometimes we just need to know what it is, what's our exact ingredients, or what's at least the essence of who we are, because sometimes we can go into our own mind and complicate that. And there is just key components to all of us that make us who we are. And sometimes we can get lost with that fact. But also in the sense of if you did have a small business or you wanted to create a small business, I do tend to work a lot with new entrepreneurs or people who are even wanting to start a business. And in a non business related sense, I think if we had a clearer understanding of who we are, then it just helps navigate what it is we're here to do, no matter what level that's on, whether it's just a micro level in our own reality, in our own life, our own journey, and that how it would maybe project into the macro level where maybe you do want to expand it outwards. So let's just see what your key ingredients are and where your strengths lie. But I do think we are certain archetypes, and so I'm going to be bringing in some of that energy in the reading. But let's begin with your cards. So three piles, and then the number one is cypress blue. Pile number two is sandalwood, and pile number three is pine. So let's get your cards. Shark energy, earthworm energy, horse energy. So take a few moments to select, and I'll see you in the reading. Hi, pile one. So you have shark energy. I kind of love this energy. I think sharks are very misunderstood, and but in terms of your personal brand, I feel like you are driven. I think you're direct. I think once you have an idea in your mind, you go for it. Once that the taste of blood in the water, you're like, not in a negative way, but in a sense that you have a very strong desire and instinct that you follow. And it's unapologetic. It's like you know exactly what you want, you're ready to go for it. Um, and you also have this depth to you where you're you're not afraid to get dirty, meaning like not getting your hands dirty. It's like you're happy to roll your sleeves up and do what it needs to do what needs done, but that you have this obviously predator energy, but not in a negative sense, other than you just know exactly the power you hold, and that you're here with you've been given big tools and you need to take big action. And I feel like you're not afraid of that. So we'll see where the reading goes. Whatever lives you impact, you change people's lives forever. And they respect and listen to you. But I would say that you probably come with a take no prisoners attitude. You're very direct and blunt, but I think you do it with such empowerment that you never, your medicine is strong for the energies that need it the most and who can hear it the most and receive it the most. So you are an acquired taste, but I think whoever you surround yourself with or people who gravitate towards you understand that multi-layered version of codes that you hold, and they're attracted to you for a particular reason, a well-needed reason. You also have cypress, blue cypress energy, and just get the, so yeah, spiritual courage balances scattered energies and shattered nerves. Yeah, so you can see how the power that you hold, people that are attracted to you need a strong leader. So I feel like there is a leadership quality here, and that it's not that you disempower the people around you, it's that you show what strength really looks like, and how, by your very nature, people can embrace the nature of who they are. They don't need to change who they are, just to be more accepted or socially accepted. So, yeah, no matter how, whatever level you take your personal brand to, whether it's professional or personal, this is who you are, and this is the people around you, this is what they see. And I think when you have this energy, like if you have big dreams, you need big tools. And sometimes, yeah, it doesn't always come in the package that seems the most applicable to all. Um, yeah, I mean, you're top of the food chain, right? And I'm not meaning that in an egotistical way, but just in a strength way. So you have empty room as another archetype. I'm going to get one more. The sustainer, 100%. Let's keep adding to it. I have an idea where this is going, but I think let's get all the cards out for you. I've also brought in the major arcanas to show your strongest energies, and we're going to get 3 of those. Hmm. Yeah, perfect cards. This is kind of what I was seeing. Um, you have the Empress, you have the Hanged Man, and you have the Sun. And I feel like this is what these energies are talking about. You know, when you're able to go to the depths of maybe even people's pain. So I'm not saying that this is your story, but if you could just use the analogy, people who have deep stories to either alchemize, share, heal, you have the power to go down there. You have the power to get to that person's level or the people around you's level. So if we take, say, addiction as one concept, um, recovery, they're big stories, right? They're hard social problems to solve. And even for the person with an addiction, it's that they have this, they don't even know where to begin with recovery, you know? They only see this blackness. They're not sure how to get out of the box that's been created for them, or you know, they've self-created, whichever it is. But you have the ability to see that they are limited by what they see, but you can see beyond that box. It's like you know how to point them to these lights, these flickers of hope of their own personal brand. It's almost like you can mirror back to them some of the light that they are neglecting to see within themselves, and you bring that light into molding them or allowing them to mold themselves into starting small. It's like, how do you build a sculpture, or how do you make something out of nothing? It's like the sustainer energy. It's like small by small, you just keep building them up. and creating some sort of new shape out of their story. You have that ability because even though sometimes that energy could be hard to work with such trauma all the time, you actually have that power and strength to reach into people's darkness and bring them to the light. So it's like you're able to share and give them that spiritual courage, you know. They have got scattered energies and shattered nerves. They're in constant fight or flight. That's what trauma does. It's very hard to see beyond, outside of that box, right? Out of those limiting beliefs. But even just the cypress, the tree, that strength in that tree is another echo of the power you hold, and that you're able to guide them, mold them, shape them. But it's not by you doing the work for them, it's that you are showing them those key moments of internal belief, um, and that you show them from another perspective. Like you're able to show them another way out of that darkness. We've got this echo again from dark to light, and you know, bats sleep at night, and you know, like, I mean, live at night and sleep during the day. It's like you're able to bring out whatever dark qualities that, or you know, trauma that people are holding. You have that ability to illuminate and shine bright their natural state of love and light, and you bring that out of them. So whether you do this in a relationship or, you know, professional, these are the qualities that you hold. So I mean, that's, we need a lot of those transmuting energies. It's like you have that ability either as a light worker or a change maker. You take big subjects that we all maybe kind of not hide away from, but we avoid. You know, most of us would avoid some of those heavy hitting subject areas. Yet the world does have a lot of healing to do. We can see that being echoed in all areas and all arenas. So you're not afraid to, yeah, roll your sleeves up, like I said before. Let's see if we can get any more. These are like my little trigger cards, just little pieces of information that might bring the message down even clearer. Yeah. I mean, these cards, you can take them quite literally, or you can just, you know, take them metaphysically. It's like, it almost kind of links into that metaphor that I was sharing. That's that when you're in this fight or flight stage, you're not acting your best self. This is not you. These are the people you've reached. So whether you can reach them because maybe you have a small or equal amount of shared story, it's that you recognize their patterns and you're able to give them the courage to get out of it. It's like whether it's rehab or some sort of counseling or, you know, healing of trauma, somewhere in this message are all the skills and gifts that you own that can help so many people. And it's like you get them to own their own power, their own space. And it's like you're able to, yeah, mold them into the person that they are supposed to be here for. And it's not that you're saving people. I have to always clarify that because I don't believe we're here to save people. We're here to just shine that light so that people can recognize their own limitations. And then you're just that beacon of light for them to see it from their own perspective and make a choice to move out of it. So whether they have to go into a cocoon energy, or maybe there's a service you provide where you give them that their own space to recover, recuperate, and reboot their lives. And you do this with such nurturing qualities, even though you can take them to task, like you can really hold that mirror up for them to see where they're at, and but also to see, to show them where they could go. So it's not like you're keeping them in that victim mode, you do take that um, brutal honesty approach. Like there's no sugar coating it for you. You If you have to go in hard, you go quick and it's over. It's like you deliver that message, and then within that, it's like the catalyst for growth. Then it's like once you've held that mirror up, people can no longer not see their own patterns, and they can now start to see not only that they've put themselves in a box, but that they're starting to see where the light is breaking through that box. And then you somehow, by your own energy or by your own brand or your own messaging, this is how you nurture and shape them um, into healing, but not by doing the work for them, right? Like they have to take it inside, they have to go into timeout energy, and they have to rebuild their own space and their own belief system. And so that they can kind of let this stuff go to the side, like these energies are, you know, human, of course, but if it's in a really downward spiral, then you have the ability to reach them and bring them back up to the surface for for light, for sunshine, for oxygen, for reprieve, for time out. Let's just ask a question. Why is it that you have this ability? What makes this so uniquely your gift? Let's see if we can get any more information on that. Why is pile one able to do this? Yeah, it's funny because, like, perfect, right? It's that you have somehow either been born with these unique gifts already, or that you've had to harness them yourself. You've had to learn them yourself. And again, another major arcana, but also, a big cat energy. You're able to, um, yeah, it's like that energy where you go in for the kill fast, not in a literal sense, please, but you're able to, yeah, reflect the truth back to people very quickly, acutely, and it can feel a bit bitey, but the glow that you have behind those bitey words will always outwin the delivery of the message, if you know what I mean. It's like it doesn't work against you because there's a truth that people can't ignore. And so that's the power you have within the delivery of which medicine is going to particularly bring in these energies for others. And you show them a way, you give them new lessons, new ways to shine the light on what's in this darkness. Um, you're able to show them a way that helps reveal a new version of them. And that's like awesome stuff, pile one. And I love that. I wish we had more of this energy in the world. And that's why I do these readings, because I'm always wanting to help pull out the truth and the power of each individual. And then by a ripple effect, the world already vibrates higher. So you're one of those people. You are, your gifts have that power to change the world. So whether this reading is really just about getting to know yourself, or if it's a way that's been shown to you right now, how far you could take this information, this power that you hold, these gifts, because oh boy, do we need more of this, especially this ability to go into that darkness within the human collective, but have the a buoyancy and the power to pull yourself out of it, so that you don't get sucked down into that energy. You have a almost like a Teflon coating to it. You have this, yeah, this really thick skin that doesn't allow you to go back into that energy, or go into that energy. But let's get a modern archetype, for those who may want to resonate in a business sense, or is there a modern archetype that will help close out this reading for pile one, give them new information about themselves? J.K. Rowling. A stroke of genius requires a slog of follow-up. There's no magic spell for doing the work. If you make a name for yourself, why stop at one? Well, this might trigger some people because I know J.K. Rowling has been semi-cancelled, or has got some negative press, right? To me, I feel the message is just that. It's like, how could someone bring so much light to so many others, and then in one sentence, we've somehow teared her down? As if she wasn't able to at least try and figure out something in her own mind about the collective, like we all do. We're all being challenged to stretch our comfort zone. And yet, I guess people went for the jugular, right? Like it was such a fight or flight energy that somehow we are going to smother all the light that she's brought to the world. And I'm wondering if that's kind of the extremity of the power you hold. Is that, if people have had a traumatic past, they may have made decisions in the past that are not becoming, right, what the collective or society would presume to be of good habits, right? Whether it's the addiction itself or the crime that may have, perpetuated that addiction, but it's that you have the ability to go down into the depth of it to bring it up to the light, because the light is always there. We are love and light, and the human experience kind of molds us one way or the other for our highest good, eventually to clear whatever lessons we're here to clear. But that I don't think that by canceling people or writing people off by one defining moment in their life is the work of light workers. So it's interesting that J.K. Rowling came up. Actually, I'm not surprised. And that's the power you hold. And the magic echoed there as well. It's that you have this ability to dispel the trauma or the fight or flight energy that's echoed into the collective as a mirror as to what's really going on in an individual level as well. It's like, you know, everyone's so triggered already by so many stories these days that, yeah, it's kind of hard to keep guiding that light without demonizing people in the process. So it's just using that discernment. I think when you're in a fight or flight or a traumatic state, it's very hard to discern yourself. And that's happening a lot in the collective. So we need to elevate it, right? And it seems like you've been called to do that. So pile one, thank you for watching, and yeah, let me know if this has resonated, and if you could like the video and share it amongst the many so that we can get about doing this business. Okay, thanks a million.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Hi, pile two. So you have earthworm energy. And it's interesting, you also got sandalwood, right? Essential oil. And what you wouldn't have seen, what happened off camera, is this bottle was actually stuck inside my box. And then when I laid it down for the reading, it leaked everywhere. So I'm actually wondering, now that it's paired with earthworm energy, I feel like that's a message in itself. It's like maybe you pivot between being stuck and then maybe leaking energy as well. But and then with this earthworm energy, I kind of get that sense that you do have that shy, naive, nurturing energy about you that sometimes you might experience some boundary issues. It's like you coil yourself up to stay safe. And I guess that's been echoed here as well, because the essential oil here is saying protected in stillness and just simply being. And it's like sometimes you find it like the world can be a harsh place for energy like you. So you probably are like an empath, right? And what the secret sauce that you are maybe not realizing and why you're here at this reading is you have this amazing, healing, beautiful energy within the universe within you. And you are protecting it because you can see such beauty and possibility. But then on the outside world, it's so jarring for your energy that instinctively you kind of overprotect yourself a little bit. But I think the message is this power that you have within needs to birth, it needs to come into something. Um, it needs to be revealed. It's like this is a personal brand that you're looking for like just personal confidence, or whether this is your personal brand if you're creating a business. These are the messages and stories and the codes that you hold that you need to birth like real life. And what's interesting about earthworm energy is I mean, like you have this ability to not only resurrect yourself if there's been a harsh like when you cut an earthworm, they're able to still continue to grow. It's that you also have this ability to transmute energy as well. So not only do you take some of the stories within the collective, you're able to transform that into a nurturing quality, meaning look at compost worms, like you're able to take what people are disregarding and somehow provide it or turn it into some sort of medicine and nourishment for the collective. So, although you want to stay naturally hidden because of maybe the shyness, maybe it's, you're afraid to, if you peer out, you might get disturbed or, chopped. It's that there is a power within you that does need to be revealed. And I think you know that. So let's have a look at more energies. I always wonder, if all the shy, quiet ones actually ruled the world, it would probably be a much healthier place, right? Because I think the problem with introverts, or not the problem, but one of the issues with introverts and shy people is that they lack that overdeveloped ego, right? So yeah, I wonder if we could all just develop our confidence with some of our quieter attributes. I wonder how much further we would get. And maybe this is your call to, yeah, to stand up and be seen. For pile two. I'm going to take the top two. Okay, the animal, the nectar. I feel like the animal for me today is talking about animals don't have ego, right? They just are. they, they just they do. They don't have this ego complex or consciousness where they're trying to be something they're not. They're entirely authentic, and there's different strengths and different layers to different animals, right? But I feel like they're always kind of unconditional anyway, right? Whether they're doing it in their perception of the world, and but also their forgiveness. And I feel like that's your energy. You have this loyalty to you. You have this just love is love. Like it's unquestionable. You're just always looking at it from that perspective. But it makes you very observant to those behaviors around you, whether you're like, Are they a threat? Are they what is this negative pattern that I'm seeing? And why is it happening? So it's like you have this third eye perspective. You have this higher vision of, the people around you, the situations around you. You're able to compute it, you're able to assess it. And although you have all of this knowledge and it's all wrapped into this amazing, beautiful vision, it's that you need to somehow bring life to it. It's like the intel you've collected has to be revealed, because what you hold is a nectar. It's like an elixir for the benefit of all. It's you promote love and community, and you build an ecosystem around you. It's like, earthworms are within nature, in the depths of nature. In fact, they fertilize the soil, they create a nectar for nourishment, and it's all very harmonious. And that's the energy you bring. That's your personal brand. It's that you want that for everyone. You want to help and serve everyone. You're able to talk to the animals, you're able to talk to the plants, and it's like you just have this ability to translate beyond languages and beyond cultures. You just have this divine intelligence about you, and it's really, really asking you to promote that into some sort of healing art, I think. But let's get more cards. So I've just separated all of the major arcana cards just to get the strongest essence of who you are. And we'll get 3 cards. The Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, the High Priestess. Considering the Moon came up in pile 1, I just feel like, people who are attracted to these readings are light workers in some kind of way. You're here to illuminate something, whether that's just yourself in your immediate environment or whether you do take it professionally. But I feel like you're able to, it's like you live within this chaos sometimes, like a pile of worms does look messy, but it's that there is an ecosystem that works within that. And you're able to build and patch and weave in all of these colors of healing and language and intelligence, and you're able to promote the change for the better. It's that whatever your existence is here, it's always been alchemized into something more powerful. Even if you don't fully understand what that is, it's that for some reason you're able to pull out all of this information, distill it, and then dispense it in some magical potion, in some sort of remedy. It's like, and it helps all, it serves all species, all cultures, all plants, humans, material, whatever. It's like across the board. For a teeny tiny powerful energy that you think you may have and that you're shy to promote, this is who you are. Like, you know great things come in small packages. And because it's echoed within the Moon and the High Priestess, this is exactly what it is. It's that you are bringing life, you're illuminating, you're shining something on some dark energies or some dark problems that we have. But you have this ability to reveal what's hidden. And you reveal what's hidden for like immense change. And I feel like in some way there is a strong representation of literal animals. And it's funny, I feel like you're able to not only just communicate with animals, but you see the patterns in in animals that reflect human behavior. It's like sometimes you see all the answers and the codes and the secrets within nature that reveal patterns that help us survive, not necessarily or just survival of the fittest, but you have this ability to break down decrypt, decode some of our human problems, our ego problems, and bring them into a simple medicine that we can all take. And I don't know exactly what that is, but that is who you are. That's what your personal brand is that although you're quiet and shy in nature, the power that's wrapped within you is so magnetic that I think you'll find one way or another to reveal it in a bigger way. You have definitely got very strong energies here. But let's see if we can get even more clarity. These are my little trigger cards. So let's see if we can get specific information. 20. Okay. Nutritional, bonding with others, dress up, not listen to. It's funny how those cards came up because I do feel that you do provide some sort of nutrition or uh, nutritional something, remedy, elixir. You have this ability to bond with others. I mean, that's what earthworms do. They work together, and you're yeah, I guess you're providing some sort of sustenance for the world, and I think bonding with others as well, when I was talking about, the way that you communicate through nature, that seems to be your best arena to work with. It also has its own healing elements for you, being an empath or introvert or shy or quiet or naive. You do need to recharge your own battery with the same elements and frequencies that you have the power to admit and magnify for the rest of us. Not listen to. I feel like maybe that could have multiple messages for you. It could be that maybe you haven't listened enough to your own potential, or that however you have hidden or dressed it up, maybe you've tried to undercompensate or overcompensate the messaging that you're trying to reach others. If it's a professional way, maybe you've followed some sort of, if it's like, for example, in the literal sense of a personal brand, if you're trying to build a business, have you created marketing concepts that the masses are doing, but that it's not really in alignment with this message of who you are? And it's that I think when we're not listened to, it's not that people intentionally ignore you, it's that sometimes the message you're saying or speaking or presenting isn't fully in alignment with who you are. And it's not that you're doing that from a superficial or a lack of integrity. It's just that you've been following patterns that people have told you is the best way to do things, and that's kind of not true, because the best way to do things is the way you do things. And so maybe there is something into this, or maybe there's an energy that you do need to amplify this and dress it up a bit. Maybe it's time to uncoil yourself and bring some of this sparkle and beauty outwards and start running it, because this is the medicine that you bring. Look at all the black and white cards, and then these two cards are the ultimate energy of who you are. Hmm. Okay, let's just see if we can get. I think I'm going to go back to this message. Do you remember me saying that it was kind of stuck to the box, but then it was also leaking and overspilling? I'm wondering what that message was. I think it's something to do with how you either harness this energy, or is that what you do? Do you free the cemented approach to what's happening in the collective that needs to be free flowing? What is this sticky spillage that was kind of a hidden message for us to figure out? Let's have 3 cards if we can. It's 1 card, and oh my god, look at it. I'm gonna actually get the other 2, but Exactly right. I mean, I know it's a similar deck, but to have that exact card and the only card come out with the free shuffle, let's get two more. Ace of Pentacles and Four of Swords. Isn't that crazy? I think it's like winning at no cost, right? It's like has been challenges, and sometimes you feel like your energy has been severed, right? And I think that could represent that leakage, that you just need to reestablish your boundaries, or do you need to heal something within yourself? Like, how do you stick that back together? Do you stick it back together, or do you regrow something else? Like, it's what's serving you, what's not serving you. Is it something to rebuild, or something to demolish, and cut it off at the source? Because if it's negativity or thought patterns that you might be speaking to yourself, is there a communication style that needs to end? And is this message today something that's going to help promote you to start this new venture? And Four of Swords, meaning, like, how do you take this quiet energy and start healing it? Because you are this source or this powerhouse to, dispense it, to have that medicinal pill. I feel like, Ace of Pentacles is something real. It almost feels like a tablet form, but it's also kind of echoing the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, how have you spun this energy? I know I mentioned earthworms in the beginning. I mean, not earthworms, silkworms in the beginning, but it is that kind of sense of how do you spin this pain into something beautiful? It's like you have this ability to leave such a gift on the rest of us, and it comes from the core of who you are, and it starts to create new growth. So no matter how many um, lessons, teeny tiny, growth spurts you've had, or like evolutions of the same thing that you might have heard before, I feel like it is time now to have it come come to the surface. Let's get one final modern day archetype that might help with their final message for pile two. Just getting one more message here. I feel like when you have been cut in half with being stuck, or overspilling, whichever this is resonating for you, I feel like when you've made that choice to separate what's not serving you, that's when you see within yourself that your own power. It's like it starts to shine brighter and brighter and brighter, and it's like you know how a tree has sap. It's like whatever that sap is the nectar that is within you that gets spilled out into the rest of your environment, your world, your business, your art, your work, your projects, etc., relationships, even. So, can we have a card for pile two? Michael Bloomberg. Take your paper route in new directions. If you make headlines, own them. Count on numbers to amount to something. Michael Bloomberg actually quit his Wall Street job, and what he did was he took a severance pay. He started to put his ideas towards a philanthropy styled business, and he actually worked a lot with making a lot of money in doing things about social change, climate change, things like that. And I feel like that's kind of might be your buzz when we're talking about how you connect with nature. Maybe you do have a passion for social change, climate change, or maybe there's even a bit of you where you feel that this could literally be a nutritional personal brand around fitness, health, etc. Like you just seem to have something, but with a unique approach. I feel like you're able to really use your healing powers to discern between what's going to rebuild health or what's going to negate it. So, and whatever this nectar or supplement or capsule or pill format or whatever it is. I feel like there's something in there for you. Maybe, hopefully, I've helped you bring some of that to the surface today. And either way, you are built for it. And yeah, I look forward to hearing what that is. If you'd like to share your story, I'd love to hear it. And if you could like the video, I'd appreciate that. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Hi, pile 3. So you have horse and pine. Awakes identity, raises self-worth, self-acceptance, self-confidence, and self-forgiveness. Like horse energy is like, it's got a lot of speed and it's got a lot of charisma. And horse energy is like full momentum, life force, like in charge, charging, and like real thoroughbred, right? It's this stallion energy. Yeah, like very even stud energy, which, I guess metaphysically meaning that you're able to inject life into projects, to things. So you maybe have this incredible resource within you that is able to either awake identity within others, or it's awakening your own identity. You're starting to take charge of who you are. You are raising your self-worth and you're building momentum around that. And now you're suddenly starting to feel powerful. And it's like that freestyle where you're, galloping in the wind. It's like you're ready to take on the world. You're ready to, yeah, charge towards something. And not only is that where you're heading, but that's the power you hold. And yeah, let's see what else is going on there. Your personal brand is not nothing to ignore. It's yeah, you've got horsepower, so to speak. Okay, let's see, can we get... And not only that, you have such a driving force. I feel like with not only that is that you're so tuned into your vision, but you also have the power of your solar plexus behind you. That's why you've got such momentum. It's that you know your mojo, you know your inspiration. So that's why you have this power to just, yeah, break barriers, jump any hurdle. But let's get an archetype for you. Okay. So we have the cave, the queen. Talk about awakening identity. If you're pulling people literally out of a cave of who they are, who they can't see yet, because you have that power to not only pull it out of them, but to peer within who they are, into their soul, into their essence. And not only that, to empower them into their own divine power, their divinity, their, like, you certainly awake identity. And have you done this already yourself? Have you done the work that's managed to do that? Because I feel like you know what you're talking about with, and it's almost like you need a huge microphone because you're so ahead of the race in this arena. And but you do it with majesty, right? With majestic signaling, messaging. You don't do this with brag quality. You're not that stud stallion kind of out of balance power. Yeah, you're even though you need a microphone, but it's not to like blast that messaging, but it's that you have this secret, subtle interpretation, or like people just admire you. They just look at you with wonder. And even yourself, maybe you don't actually know how to distill that into some sort of, you know, the top 10 tips. It's that your energy is so powerful and magnetic that people just look at you with awe and wonder, and you create this like powerhouse of, it's not imitation. People don't want to imitate you. You don't want people to imitate you either, but they want to awaken that essence that you've awoken in yourself so that they beam their own light as well. It's like that's why they admire you. It's an admiration, not an idealization. So it's it's for people who are, yeah, they're they're peering out at the possibility, and it's like you're just highlighting what it is that they could be too, because this is the delivery of your energy. It's that you want to empower people in their sovereignty. It's that you know that everyone has a piece of this collective puzzle, and that no one needs to bend out of shape of who they are, but they need to embrace it and wake it up, and that they are their own monarch to their own life. And you probably live this absolutely authentically, that you live by your own rules, and the rules you seem to play around with for yourself, or layered within yourself, and how you live your life has that royal quality. It's like very traditional, regal. I'm not necessarily conservative, but very clear cut. You know where the boundaries are, and it's like keep it simple is kind of your mantra. It's that you know exactly where you're going, you know how to get there, and you know in which way you're going to get there. It's not up for negotiation, because you understand the power you hold. You understand um, you understand your own kingdom. But let's get some more cards, right? Because tarot knows better. Okay, so I've actually just brought out the major arcanas for this part of the reading, and we're going to get 3 cards of your energy, your gifts, your personal brand, your qualities. What's the top 3 components of what you hold in your frequency? Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God. Hanged Man and the World. There's definitely overlaps in readings today. That happens a lot. I must attract all the same people with similar issues. But this showed up in pile 2 and this showed up in pile 1. So if you feel compelled, have a look at those energies. I feel like you've really been able to change your own circumstances of your life, and you literally have embraced the qualities that I've already spoken about up until now. I feel like you have turned your circumstances around, and you've done it in such a way that it has built momentum, and even maybe you sometimes doubt your luck because you understand this energy as well. There's this lack, or you've not really been able to um, you're not really sure how to bring your gifts to the forefront. You're not really, or you haven't been sure how to deliver your message, or to, yeah. But you are, this is your power right now. And I don't think you even doubt that. I think what you're more curious about is how could you forward that on? How could you share that story with the rest of the world? And I do feel like it has got world status. So you may even have quite a high profile, or you will continue to build a high profile because of the Queen energy, because of the World card, and because of the Wheel of Fortune. It's like your momentum is so fast, all the wheels are spinning and forever changing in your direction, it seems. You've had to turn this mentality up on its head. You've seen things from a new perspective. I feel like you might even work with energy because you understand manifestation. I feel like you don't get this self awareness and this self confidence without elevating your frequency to a point where you actually understand what self love is actually about, and the the purpose of it. That it's not an ego speaking. It's that when you love yourself entirely and you've built your own empowerment, it's that you hold such a high frequency for people to emulate on some level. And also by reflecting and projecting that energy outwards, um, it shifts timelines. It brings in what you need. It brings in all of those qualities that you hold strongly. And you now know that you don't work from that perspective anymore. You don't charge out of control. You work your energy momentumly. You understand that completely. And I feel like you're going to be bringing that story to the world. And it's not even that. You're able to have completed a huge cycle between living within the dark of who you are to absolutely owning it 100%. Like, talk about glow up. This is exactly what it is. And it's this um, it's not that you've even completed one cycle of the story to its own power. It's that you've completed it to completely next level. It's like next level stuff. That's why I think you're going to be highly visible. You might have a large following or a large audience, either now or coming your way, because people are so attracted to you. Like I said before, it's not that they idolize you, but they admire you, and you kind of encourage them to stand on their own, um, and start embracing more of it. Oh my God, I'm getting tingles. That's always a good sign. Yeah, kind of like a pine tree, right? You grow so high up into the light, and you know that the strength it takes to continue to do that, and that you don't bend in your rules or bend in your standards. It's that you know the direction you take. So in that sense, you're like super powerful, right? You just have that horsepower, like I said before. But let's get some trigger cards just to see if we can just kick a little below the surface, just to see how you are delivering this message, or why this personal brand for you is so important. Like, what is it you need to hear? Okay, I think that will be enough. Okay, I'll take that one too because he skipped out. So we have free, we have hereditary, we have negative friends, we have own space, that also came up before, to be attractive, social self esteem. Oh my God, I love it. Can't make this stuff up. I feel like with the hereditary card, that is linking into not only ancestral energy in yeah, like thoroughbred energy, or blue blood energy, not necessarily literally, but just to highlight the fact that these codes are within you for a reason. They've been awoken for a reason, and now it's part of your karmic duty to awaken those codes up within your tribe on some level, in your little village, in um, and it seems like even just going from like caveman, if we even put that energy there, to like the queen, I feel like that's how far this lineage has gone back. It's that it's these codes have always been evolving within your particular DNA, that these are your absolute gifts and that you have to use them. And and when I talk about, having a world platform or a stage or an audience, that's because you're creating social self-esteem. So with the pine energy about raising self-worth and acceptance and confidence, and our social media problems that we have now, is that somewhere your platform is here to again help build social self-esteem, not even just in like a village sense or just in your friendship base, but that you are building an audience that's going to help permeate that across the platform as well. So maybe you do have this high visibility already, um, and it's now part of your life's work to promote social self esteem on a world stage. It's like you're freeing negative friends, is what I want to link to, like internet trolls, or people that just sit in a room and spout negativity. Or it could be also in your tiny little village. So remember, however this resonates for you, whatever you came here to hear, whether it's just your personal story or a personal branding or a messaging of who you are and what you're about, so that people can vibe um, close to you, so that they can see who you are. That's how you become attractive, is because you're owning that space. You're owning not only all of these lessons or issues that I've been talking about up until now, but it's how you've transmuted it. And like you're like the elixir for our social media platform on some level. That's kind of cool, isn't it? We also need that. It's actually been really interesting reading. So if any of this has resonated, and particularly in pile one, if Wheel of Fortune is your thing, I know pile two, and then Hangman was pile one. Maybe there's additional messaging in there for you. But either way, like, there's some powerhouses in these readings, and I actually would love to see how that is actually taking place. So if you'd like to share your story, I'd love to hear it. Let's get a few more cards on. Let's get a specific message. Like, how are you lifting up the social esteem on social media platforms, if that's your thing? But also, that's just a metaphor, right? So you can always take this advice and template it over your actual issue that you want some clarity on. The energy is transcends just one storyline, right? So you be in charge of your, or be the director of your story. But let's just see if we can get some additional information. That's interesting. That card actually fell out before I shuffled. Oops. Whoa, they're all falling out. Interesting. Queen of Wands, right? Yeah, I mean, talk about charisma. Like, you're able to provide that nurture, and whatever eggs are hatching from this energy to be their own person, to own their own space. Like, you have the power to nurture them without um, restricting them, right? You're keeping that free for them to decide what to do. You're not even attacking the negative friends or the trolls, like, because you know that somewhere along the line, this community that you build will transcend that, and you will cut away, those energies. They'll just sort of separate away from you. And yeah, you've got the strength card. Like, I feel like they're pretty self-explanatory. You have this purity about you. You have this, again, major animal energy, like big animal energy. So lion, king of the jungle, like, talk about pure strength. um and it kind of falls into that lion king energy as well. It's like, yeah, your message is so powerful and regal, and it yeah, it's going to really touch a lot of people's hearts and really waking them up. Isn't that cool? You're cool, pile three. Okay, let's see a modern archetype to see if we can just bring this down into a more practical brand. Let's believe it. Michael was in pile two, so I think you're being redirected for pile two as well. But I'm going to get another one because, actually, in case you didn't know, Michael Bloomberg quit his Wall Street job. He had And he took the money that he made in his severance pay to then go into philanthropy. And he did a lot of things for social change and climate change and things like that. So I'm wondering if that's linking into your social media platform, or what is it that maybe you already have. Maybe you already have a business on, and you probably have a following, and maybe your branding's changing. Maybe you're just here to get a more precise message or a new direction on how to, I guess, yeah, take your paper route in new directions. If you make headlines, own them. Count on numbers to amounting to something. And actually, this happened to a social media personality. Her name's Sunny. Um, she actually changed her whole strategy in her business, and she had like millions of followers, or at least 500,000. And she had one of these epiphany moments that she started to really anchor into her true messaging. And she lost some people along the way because they no longer resonated with her new message, but that she 10x'd her message and her income, if that's what you're after. But what I'm saying is that she was able to really crystallize who she was meant to be. And but I'm going to get a second card just for you. Oh, too many. Calvin Klein. Take risks and have a press statement ready. Find real meaning in innuendo, outrage into art form. Yeah, I just feel like there is this. If Michael Bloomfield points you in a direction of change from your current messaging or branding or life circumstance, then Calvin Klein is talking about, you know, pushing the storylines that are powerful but impactful. Sometimes I really believe storytelling has more power than any other form of messaging. And if you are these powerhouses, then you probably do have a big story to share. And if it is about showing people their own power, then I think there will be a natural buffer in the beginning of outrage, right? Where people will push against you. So I think it's about just being free and letting that go and understanding your higher mission and keep developing and delivering a message that's in line with that. So maybe there is a parting of ways for you in some of your old business messaging or your own life pattern, whichever it is. There's a new direction bubbling away, but it's coming with epic energy forces. Like you've got huge, huge energies here to support you. So, pile three, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.